I'm Alexandra Musavisadeh, and I am the Director of the Prosperity Index here at the Legatum Institute. And across from me, I have Bill English, who is the Deputy Prime Minister of New Zealand. We're very happy to have you here today. Thank you so much for coming. New Zealand has the biggest prosperity surplus of any country in the world, according to our Prosperity Index. So what are your reflections on this success?
Well, we're quite surprised by New Zealand having this biggest gap. I think it'll be something to do with the fact that New Zealanders have a keen appreciation of those aspects of their life they value that aren't just their income. And New Zealand's a country where you can easily access those aspects of life, whether it's through the landscape or a cohesive community. And that's part of the luxury of being a small country at the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. The UK and New Zealand faced many common challenges. Apart from the budgetary surplus, what would be the one policy achievement of the current national government that you think the UK could learn from to drive up our average prosperity delivery in the UK?
Well, we're pursuing a direction rather than an achievement that goes under the label of social investment. Mm-hmm. You know, we've looked around the world, and particularly in Britain, at a lot of the innovation in the delivery of government services. And now with good access to technology and much better access to data and the ability to use it practically to improve things, we are trying to reorientate our whole government system, budgeting and service delivery, around a stronger focus on our customers. Mm-hmm. And around reducing demand for our public services from our most complex families and households. Starting to make some progress. Mm-hmm. And have learned a lot more actually from a few days here, looking again at the updated innovations.
Interesting. So in terms of New Zealand, the ranking on the Prosperity Index in the pillar called Entrepreneurship and Opportunity, New Zealand ranks 17. Now, some initiatives you've made some initiatives to develop a startup scene in New Zealand. I just wondered if you could comment a little bit on what specifically you've embarked on.
Well, we're impressed with the strong focus on entrepreneurialism here in the UK. And in what's been a primary production, an agricultural economy fundamentally for a long time in New Zealand, developing that sort of dynamic risk-taking has proven to be a bit of a challenge for New Zealand, but I think one we're getting on top of. An example of it would be the ads in the underground here for Xero, which is actually a New Zealand company, and is spawning a whole ecosystem of entrepreneurs, some of whom are coming to the UK that weren't there before. But a series of governments have patiently built an ecosystem of startups and the kind of angel financing and venture capital that you need, all of which is a challenge in an economy of 4.5 million people. But I'm pleased to say after probably 15 years of fairly consistent effort, we're starting to make some progress.
New Zealand ranks and has done throughout the history of our index among the top 5 and has the biggest prosperity gap in terms of its delivering the most prosperity in terms of its wealth. What are the main challenges or threats to New Zealand's prosperity position, do you think?
I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it's the transition of the Chinese economy. Mm-hmm. We're closely linked to Australia as our biggest trading partner, and China is pretty much as big a trading partner. And of course, Australia and China are inextricably linked. So we hope that they're able to manage that transition in the next 5 or 10 years as well as they've managed the last 10 years. I think another challenge for us is to get the right balance between our intensive agricultural production and impact on environment. Part of our brand is a strong, clean and green image, and we need to make sure that discerning customers here can see the integrity of that brand in the way that the New Zealand environment is maintained and enhanced at the same time as continuing to intensify our agricultural production.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
English.